Good morning. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our processional hymn. It's number 114 in your hymnal, Forward Through the Ages.
Faithful Spirit. Well. Good morning, all souls. Yes, so good to see you. I'm Assistant Minister Randy Lewis, and I'm joined today by our Senior Minister, Marlin Lavanhar, and we're both excited to be in worship this morning with you on this graduation Sunday. Yes. So I'm going to congratulate all graduates of high school, grade school, trade school, nursing school, college. In fact, if you are a graduate, I invite you to stand right now. We want to acknowledge you. If you're a graduate anywhere, come on and stand up. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Our own Shannon Boston. Yes. Well, welcome to our online viewers and everywhere members who are watching from all over the world. We're so glad you've joined us today. Now, if you're on Facebook or Zoom, please drop your prayer requests, joys, and concerns into the chat so that in a moment we can light a candle for you and host space here in the sanctuary. Now, if you're a first-time guest with us today, you are invited for some light refreshments and a chance to meet with our Welcoming Souls team in the Sonnin Library after the service that's just right outside the sanctuary doors to the left. We would love to get to know you. And for those online, please consider staying for our coffee hour conversations immediately after the service. And for those in service, we invite you to Emerson Hall for fellowship or to our garden for reflection. Garden is absolutely beautiful today, I'm told. So now I invite you to stand as you are able for our invocation and covenant. This is indeed a day God has made. Let us then rejoice in it and be glad. Let us count our many blessings. Let us be grateful for the capacity to see, feel, hear, and understand. Let us be grateful for the incredible gift of life. And let us be especially grateful for the ties of love that bind us together, giving dignity, meaning, worth, and joy to all our days. Please join me for our covenant that's printed in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Oh, welcome to All Souls, where we love beyond. Yes. Before you take your seat, and as our chalice lighter comes forward, please greet your neighbor.
All right, well, I hope you'll continue to greet one another after the service. It's great to feel the warmth in this place. So warm with spirit and love for one another. And welcome again to all who are here for the very first time. I'm glad to introduce to you our chalice lighter, who was, it seems like just yesterday that you graduated from high school, but now Sydney Smith is back. She's graduated from Kansas University, and we are very proud of her. She is, for those who don't know, the daughter of our beloved youth director, Corey Smith, and his wife, Missy. And Sydney, I know you're lighting our chalice, and we're so proud of you. And I know you're going off to Japan to go teach next year, and we're excited about that. And yes. bring the spirit of all souls to Japan, okay, and to all the Japanese people. But would you, before you light the chalice, would you say a word about, I know that you're connected to the Pawnee tribe and some of what you have as part of your dress today, some of the Pawnee symbolism.
My uncle, I believe, I think this might be my great uncle, he made this eagle feather for me to wear on my graduation day. And then my grandfather, he went to Pawnee and got this medal so I can wear when I'm graduating. So.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, congratulations, and thank you for lighting our chalice.
We light this chalice bright with the flame of accomplishment and the warm glow of community. May this light remind us that the most profound lessons in life are those that challenge us to evolve, think critically, and extend beyond our perceived limits. May this flame inspire all who are graduating to a ceaseless quest for wisdom, compassion, and courage.
Good morning. Caitlin Clark and I are going to offer the story for all ages today, What the Road Said, written by Cleo Wade.
Have you ever wondered if there was something more, something out there, something just different? Then one day, for no reason at all, a road appears. And so I say to the road, where do you lead?
Be a leader and find out.
How do I start?
You have already started.
What happens when I get there?
You have just begun. Don't skip straight to the ending. Enjoy the journey.
Which way do I go?
That is your choice to make.
But what if I go the wrong way?
Don't worry. Sometimes we go the wrong way on our way to going the right way.
What if I get scared?
That's okay. You are brave.
But what does it mean to be brave?
Being brave is when you're afraid to do something, but you do it anyway. Don't let what scares you keep you from continuing on your path.
What if I get lost?
There may be some days that feel long and dreary, but I promise that no matter what, I will give you the evening stars and the morning sun to light your way.
What if I grow weary or I get hurt?
I will give you the trees of all shapes and sizes to shelter you when you need to rest and heal.
What if I get lonely?
You are never alone.
What if I change?
All things grow and change. This is the magic of being alive. No living thing is meant to stay the same.
What if I need help on my journey?
Ask your fellow travelers along the way.
What if they're mean to me?
Lead them to kindness
How?
by being kind.
What if they want to fight?
Lead them to peace
But how do I lead them to peace?
by listening to their stories and telling them yours and reminding them that you are all on this journey together.
What if something unexpected happens?
Keep going.
What if there's a mountain that feels too tall to climb? What if there's a river that feels too wide to cross? What if my heart gets broken? What if I feel stuck? What if giving up is easier?
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
What if I can't do it?
You can,
How do you know?
because you have come this far.
Where do you lead?
Be a leader and find out. I now invite our children to come with me to be leaders and find out. what else the road might have said.
Forward. Jeannie Lee, for those of you who don't know Jeannie Lee in person, Jeannie Lee is a member of our church from Minnesota who's joined our Everywhere, All Souls Everywhere program during the pandemic and has been a leader online. If you've been on Zoom, you've probably met Jeannie Lee hosting, being our chaplain on the Zoom many mornings. And so it's just great to have you here this morning with us. Jeannie Lee's also on our board of trustees. She's the first Everywhere member of All Souls who's serving on our board of trustees. And so we're so glad that you're here. And Jeannie Lee's going to read a poem by Emily Dickinson. And this poem is about hope, and it's about this sort of little bird that lives in all of our hearts that just won't be quiet, that just keeps raising its voice for hope within us. And it's a beautiful poem, and we're thank you so much. Can I give you a hug? I've never met you in person. I feel like I know you so well, but I've never. All right.
I think I'm good. Yeah. I don't need a height helper. I think I'm good. All right. Before I begin this poem, may I just say, in the words of Reverend Gerald, good morning, church. Wow. All right. Here we go. Hope is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. And sweetest in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity it asked a crumb of me.
Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Never stops at all. Never stops at all. And never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. And sweet as in the gale is heard, and sore must be the storm that could abash the little bird that kept so many warm. I've heard it in the chillest land and on the strangest sea, yet never in extremity, it has no crown, it never has a crown of me. Hope is the thing that at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all. Hope is the thing that perches in the soul and sings the tune and never stops at all.
Caitlin Clark, would you come up here? You're graduating from high school, and we are so proud of you. We have a gift for you, a couple of gifts, really. But you know, I remember when you first came onto this chancel, and I held you in my arms, and we dedicated you. You were with your parents, Christian and Carla, and your grandparents, Jim and Janice. We were all up here, and we prayed for you. You are the realization of our hopes and the realization of our prayers. On that day, we prayed that we would help you to grow into somebody who would go out into the world and live with righteousness and love and serve humanity. And you have grown into that person. And you are now standing here on your own without the others, going off to begin your life, going into college next year. We're really proud of you. This is a book of life prayers. It's for prayers for all stages of life. And so even though you might be far away from us, we want you to always tend to your spiritual life and to have this book to remind you of us and know that we're with you in spirit wherever you go, giving you strength, holding you fast, and know that you can always come back here. And if we have anything to say about it, this church will be here and will be strong and will be ready to welcome you home all throughout your life. Yes, and we also have, I can't lift you in my arms like I did before, but I can at least hold you in my arms. And we also, on Youth Sunday, when you delivered that beautiful message to our congregation, we took up an offering for a scholarship to help with college, and we are going to be giving you that scholarship this year, and we're so glad that you're going to use it to make this world a better place. We love you, Caitlin.
At this moment, we gather with open hearts, embracing the care and concern we share for one another. It is in these times of challenge and shadow that we find a guiding light, a beacon of hope's resilience and love's boundless grace. Together, we navigate life's transitions through moments of joy and times of sorrow. Today, we light a candle for Nicole Ogundari and family on the loss of her sister, Iva Laverne Warren, who passed away yesterday. Today would have been Iva's 55th birthday. Condolences to member Dr. Miranda Johnson and family on the loss of her grandmother, Sparkle Hale, who died May 14th. And we want to congratulate Matthew Short and Lisa Byers, who tied the knot yesterday. And from our online viewers and everywhere members, we light a candle for member Mona Betts, who's going through chronic illness. We light a candle for Nicole Clemens as she recovers from surgery. And we light a candle for our own Michelle Spencer, who's also recovering from surgery. She's our marketing director. I invite you now to name aloud someone you wish to be included in this sacred moment.
Zachary McGraw.
We light a final candle for all the precious names spoken and those unspoken yet who remain in our hearts. If you've lost a loved one in the past year, or if this Sunday is the closest to the anniversary of that loved one's death, I invite you now to stand in memory for a brief moment of silence before the prayer. You may be seated. God of all wisdom and power, guide us in your boundless mercy. On this special day that we celebrate the achievements of our graduates and their journey of transcendence, be with us. Keep us ever mindful of those facing life's challenges, stirring within us a compassion that transforms us into a more appreciative, caring, and loving community. Grant our graduates the humility to discern their strengths and gifts, and the courage to use them for the betterment of humanity. Whether in themselves, their families, communities, or nations, heal our divides, oh God. May we never take for granted the importance of our togetherness, knowing that no house divided can stand. So help us, oh God. Help us to stand. Help us to stand for justice, for peace, for truth, for compassion, and for hope. Let us practice not just civility, but also profound compassion with dignity and grace, oh God. Let us honor all of creation. And oh God, may the meditation of our hearts and the joy of our existence sustains us now and always. May it be so this day and all days. Amen and blessed be.
Is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. It perches in the soul, it never stops at all. It sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. Oh, is the thing with feathers that perches in the soul and sings the tune without the words and never stops at all. It perches in the soul, it never stops.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Every year on graduation Sunday, it takes me right back to 1986 when I graduated from high school. I ought to be young again. I was about to cross the country to go to college. I did not know anyone where I was going. Nobody knew me. All my life I'd been around my family and people who knew me and were familiar with me and who I was, and all of a sudden I was going to be going off to meet complete strangers. And like the character in this morning's children's story, I wondered, what if I get lonely? What if I need help? What if no one likes me? What if they're mean to me? I remember I so much wanted to be liked, and I so much wanted to belong. Have you ever wanted to belong to something so much that you were willing to give up something that's important to you in order to be accepted? Have you ever perhaps hidden a part of yourself in order to fit in or to be liked? Or am I the only one? I think we've all done it at some points in our life in different ways, and I'm reminded of the Cinderella story, not the sanitized Disney version of the story, but the original Grimm fairy tale, and it's pretty grim if you know it. In it, when the men come looking for this beautiful, mysterious woman that they can't find, and they've got the glass slipper in their hand, and they go around the entire kingdom looking for the woman whose foot can fit into the slipper, and they enter Cinderella's home, and her first stepsister cuts off her toes to try to fit into the glass slipper, and her other stepsister cuts off her heel in order to try to fit in to the glass slipper. Imagine the pain of trying to jam your bloody, severed foot into a glass slipper. It hurts to cut off a part of ourselves in order to try to fit in, whether it's a slipper or a relationship or a job or just about anything. And when people do it, then we often try to anesthetize ourselves from the pain using drugs or alcohol or shopping or gambling or sex without love or any number of potential pain relievers. So it's better to just not cut off a part of ourselves, but be true to ourselves. You know, Emily Dickinson, the poet who we heard Jeannie Lee did such a beautiful job reciting in the choir, singing her poem earlier. She went to Mount Holyoke College when she was younger, and it was a time when in her home state of Massachusetts and throughout much of America at that point, it was awash in religious revivals. She lived in a community in the 19th century where they believed that a person had to have a direct personal experience of Jesus in order to be considered a member of the church. Having had such a spiritual conversion, as they called it, was considered the one and only sign that someone would be saved and would go to heaven. People were expected to testify to their personal experience of Jesus. There were at least 8 religious revivals in her hometown of Amherst, Massachusetts, during her formative years. But Emily Dickinson could never honestly testify to having experienced the Spirit of Jesus in her soul. And this fact caused her much anguish as she watched her friends one by one confessing to their belief and experience of Christ as Savior. There was a lot of pressure placed on everyone at this time to accept Jesus and to testify to some experience of Jesus coming alive inside your heart. and especially Emily, who was the daughter of a prominent New England Congregationalist family. She was 16 years old when she entered Mount Holyoke. The school was run by Mary Lyon, who I've read placed each student in one of three categories. Those who had confessed their faith were known as professors of faith. Those who seemed close to doing so were known as hopers. And those who showed little or no desire to convert were termed no-hopers. You can imagine the social pressure to convert in such a system where everyone knew the label of everyone else, especially at such an impressionable age and stage in one's life. But Emily never converted. We're told that she left Mount Holyoke a no-hoper. It makes her poem and that song even more meaningful. It's pretty amazing to realize that all she had to do to gain full acceptance by her teachers and her peers was to say that she believed. Even if she didn't, she could just say it in order to fit in. But she didn't. At 16 years old, she realized, had she compromised her integrity in exchange for social acceptance, it would be a kind of inner death. She would be ceasing to think for herself and would instead be following the crowd. In essence, she'd be giving up her truth to conform to popular opinion. And this is what can happen when we go off to college or even go to Japan. We either find our true selves like Cinderella, or we cut off parts of ourselves in hopes of fitting in like her sisters. It took incredible courage for Emily Dickinson to stay true to herself. But I believe it was her willingness to do so that allowed her to discover her genius. And she's left quite a legacy like no other American poet. But too many people today seem like they're just following the crowd, doing whatever they think others expect them to do. We see it in the politicians in Washington all the time. Every night on the evening news, it seems that we have to watch, and it's painful to watch, these grown men and women saying things that we know they don't believe in order to gain and retain power and approval. Graduates, we raised you differently. Now, we do not and did not tell you exactly what to believe, but we tell you be courageous about what it is that you do believe. Just know that it's not always easy to do it. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not easy for any of us at any age or stage in our lives. Wherever the road takes you, to thine own self be true. Trust that as you live your truth, you give other people around you permission to live their truth. And that is the message that we want you to take with you as you go out, wherever the road will lead you. And we promise in our own ways and in our own lives to do our best to not cut off any parts of ourselves, but to live fully into our truth. Because that's what the world needs more now than ever. In a time when truth has become so elusive, the world needs people who will live their own truth in the world. Thank you. God bless you, and congratulations to our graduates.
Then every day we've got to pray on if we want hope to survive in this world today. Then every day we've got to pray on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to walk on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to walk on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to work on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to work on. We've got to move on, survive in this world today, then every day we've got to move on. If we want hope to survive in this world today, then every day we've got to move on. We've got to march on, survive in this world today. Every day we've got to sing on.
Yes, indeed. We want hope to survive in this world today. We also want democracy to survive in this world today. Yes, indeed, indeed. And sometimes both seem to be in short supply. We also want democracy to live on in this church, which means that we have a congregational meeting coming up in about 5 minutes, as soon as this service is over. And we hope that if you're a member of All Souls, that you will stay for an extra 20 minutes right here. It's going to be right here in the sanctuary. It'll start immediately after the postlude. And we're going to be electing 2 new officers to the board. We're going to be thanking our outgoing board member, Louis Rojas. We're going to be giving an award to one of our members who does great service, making some announcements about our master plan of this space, making some announcements about our ministry and things like that, and just doing the business of the church. It'll take about 20 minutes, but we need you. We can't do it. We don't have a pope who's going to tell us what to do. We need our members to do it. So I hope you can stick around. As soon as the postlude, as a matter of fact, Randy and I are going to stay up here, and we're not even going to go out there and greet people. But if you do need to leave during the postlude, of course, you can sneak out in shame with your head down. No shame. I know. But and even if you're a visitor here, you can certainly stay and watch. You can stay and watch and participate. You can't vote, obviously, but you can. You're welcome to stay. If people need to leave, we do understand. But I hope you can stick around. We're ending the service a little bit early for that purpose. If you have children, we have some great games and things that they're going to be doing on the playground. So you can pick your children up after the service, or hopefully after the congregational meeting, on the West Playground. But they have bubbles and chalk, sidewalk chalk and other stuff. So they'll be fine while you stay here and help us vote in our new board members. If you're on Zoom, there will be a new link put in the chat, or if you're on Facebook, hopefully we'll put that link in the chat. You can click on it and go to the Zoom, and you can participate in the meeting. Everybody, wherever you are in the world, who are members, are able to vote on all the items that we're voting on today in that meeting. All right. With that, I just want to let folks know that this Wednesday is our volunteer appreciation party, which is once a year. The staff all puts on a party to thank all of you for doing everything that you do for All Souls. So if you volunteer in any capacity, on a committee, on a choir, with the kids, anything that you do to volunteer to support All Souls, we hope you'll be here Wednesday night. And we do want you to register, so we make sure we have enough food and cake and ice cream or whatever we're going to have. So there is a QR code actually on the announcement that's tucked into your order of service, and there will be one in the chat online. But you can just go there and register, so let us know that you're going to be here Wednesday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have karaoke and some other fun things that night. All right, that's Wednesday night, and right now we're going to take up an offering. As we do, we give it away every week to important organizations and causes around the city, and today's is going to go to the Greenwood Cultural Center, a really important organization that's been keeping alive the history of Greenwood since especially because of the destruction in 1921. A lot has been lost, but the Greenwood Cultural Center has kept things alive, the archives and everything. So let us give generously to this partner organization. Full disclosure, I'm the president of the board of the Greenwood Cultural Center currently. So I hope you'll give generously as we now receive this morning's offering for the Greenwood Cultural Center. Beautiful. Wonderful. Thank you to choir. Sounds just glorious this morning. As always, thank you all so much. Rick Fortner and all of you. As I said, Randy and I are going to stay up here. If you do need to go during the postlude, we understand. If you're here for the very first time and you want to, there will be someone to greet you in the library just out to the left just to answer your questions about All Souls. We're so glad you came to see us. Our graduates, we're so excited to see where the road takes you, and we hope that it continues to take you back here over and over again so that we can continue to be a part of your lives. You mean so much to us. As you go forth into the rest of this week. May your eyes see beauty, may your lips speak truth, may your heart know love, and may your hands do the good works of this world all the days of your life. Be blessed and be a blessing, be loved and be loving. Amen.